Right now? Oh, there we go. We are live. Yeah, so my name is Amy, and I am here with my friend Claudia, who's on a different screen for people following on TikTok. We are trying to raise awareness and raise funds for a project that we're working on that I have shared some posts about on my TikTok, and Claudia has been sharing posts on her social media as well. We are working with the spiritual tribes and the spiritual elders of Colombia to get ourselves towards a major planetary task in Switzerland this September. We're working on activating the heart chakra of the planet that is in Switzerland, and we will be going there physically. And Claudia, what else can we add there?
Well, first, I guess, well, I don't know if maybe you want to put me on speaker there. I don't know if they can hear me, but
oh, let me do that. I wonder if it's going to cause a problem if I
try it. Can you hear a feedback? I don't hear on StreamYard. You are not there. Your volume is off. I mean, your microphone is off on StreamYard. Hello, everyone. Yeah, there's a feedback. But hello, everyone. It is so nice to see you all here, and thank you, Amy. Amy is also right now doing stream on TikTok. So what we are doing, first of all, is to share with you the mission that you might be part of it too. You might not be aware of that, and you could be in many places. And actually, interesting it is that Canada has a very important part on this. You know that the energy of North America, Canada has a big part of this. What the energy of Canada is bringing to Switzerland and actually to the whole world. So this mission that we have, it was just crazy how everything started, right? So let's talk a little bit about the connection with the Mamos.
Feedback?
Yeah, not very much. No, I'm good. Can you? No,
headphones on?
I don't hear anything.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't hear the feedback.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so the Kogis, the Mamos from Colombia, we are working together with them. So what can we add? So we are doing this task, and there is a mission, almost like you can be. Oh, there you go. You could be part of this mission, like Indiana Jones, because all of this mission is about crazy stuff like that, things that it just defines your mind, your whatever your logic is. And we are at this moment in the process of getting some specific pieces that we need to take to Switzerland. These pieces are like treasures, if you will, because they literally look like they are treasures. They are pieces that some of them they're not even from this world, literally, and they need to be returned to Colombia where they need to be healed. And those pieces, they are actually like chips. They are USB that has information that will help with this activation. It has all the memories of the earth, and it has all the information that it needs to be again turned on earth, so that we can go through this ascension and that we can go through this some people call it to the next level, to the the fifth dimension or whatever, but it's just the ascension in general of all of us. So there's people out there. We know that there is people out there that might resonate with this message. And first of all, thank you so much for helping us to achieve this mission by either sharing this with with people that you might know that they might resonate with this, or if there's something that resonates with you, you can always send us a message and we can chat and we can share with you everything. The mission, it is something, but that the guides, the angels have shared, is like it is a call to the soul. Sometimes doesn't make any sense to your mind, but it does make sense, to your heart. Something that just it feels like, oh my goodness, I would like to know more about that. And it's to return our hearts and activate the frequency of our own heart, stay in this harmony and this coherence. So we think, we do, we say the same thing. And when we are in this coherence, we will be able to connect and hear more clearly the guidance of the angels, the guides, the earth, and we will navigate these times that we are going through right now. These times that, if we are completely in the unknown, if you will, we feel that everything is collapsing, or that we might be feeling that this is, the end of the world. And it is in a sense, they always to start new ways of doing this new world. And the truth is that most of us, we are here because we chose to be here right now. So whoever is watching this, there is no coincidences. So I don't know, anything that comes to your mind, questions, and we can start from there. Amy, what do you think? We can go from there. You're really good at that.
I think that we could talk a little bit about what we have been told about what this activation is for and what it will bring about. So the Mamos are going around. This is not the only activation that they're doing. They've done several other activations, and they've done certain activations around the planet to prepare for this big activation that is going to be. I think that my understanding is that every being on this planet will in some way be aware that something is different. What do you think?
Absolutely. This is part of this ascension that we were just talking about, and the veil that is lifting. In many ways, people are feeling this as we get connection, as we are, having this new information, that this Wi-Fi that's coming from the sun, these activations, these solar flares that we are receiving, they are literally activating our DNA, upgrading our DNA. It has been disconnected for quite some time. So now we are getting all this, so it's helping us to remember our connection with our galactic families, for example, our cosmic ancestors and all that. And this is a job that is not only us, like you just said, it is many people, and the Mamos and other people all around the world are doing these activations. People are doing it without even knowing, just by some days, go and take a walk to the lake or to the forest or visiting someone. There's always energy work in everything that we do, whether we are aware of this or not. However, there are some people that we are just doing this more, if you will, aware or conscious of what we are doing. And our tasks for all of us are different. We be all bridges and bringing information, and we are helping one shape or form. There is many people doing this for a long time. Even for us to go to Switzerland right now, it has been a long work from other people. And we are always working together, even though we don't know it, or even we don't know people doing something. Everything that we do, we are connecting dots all the time. But our awareness will not allow us to see everything clearly, because from our perspective, we don't see how everything connects if it's not in front of us. If we look this in a different perspective, or a higher perspective, even if it doesn't make any sense, everything is always connected. In other words, if you are doing something and you want to head one direction, and something appears to your life that you feel that is not taking you to where you want to go, but why is that appearing? Is because the universe literally is guiding you to go there, because you cannot see the whole picture, but it will probably take you to the door even faster that you want to go. So what we are doing is this work, planetary work, they will help to raise the vibration of the earth. It will bring all this information that we are bringing from heaven. We are all being bridges and anchors of this information. So it will spread to the earth, and we will have a connection more deeply with earth, which is something that we have forgotten. And just bring it to the main message of how this, at least for us, what we are doing with the Mamos, because of course there's other people doing many things with them in different levels and I guess stages of this world activation, because it's not only one thing, it's many. It's that in this time we can activate, we can connect with our hearts. So we will be able to connect our heartbeat with the heartbeat of the earth. And that way we will have more harmony. So we will activate the heart chakra of the planet in Switzerland, sending the frequencies of love, light, and this information will go all the way down to the world, but especially will head down south in South America, where the new humanity is being gestated. So basically what happens that the kundalini of the earth, that energy, it left from Tibet and now it is down south in Machu Picchu and other parts of South America. So that area right now is where basically the earth is holding all this energy, like the womb. And there is, that we will see within the next probably 3 to 7 years more and more of this, like how South America is going to change the ways. What right now seems like it's crazy, like, you know, for example, Argentina or Colombia, all those places, they're going to come and do like a flip of 180 degrees, because the energy right now is there's a new way of living in life in humanity, and civilization is coming. So our mission is that we send frequencies of love. So this message was given to make us understand it in this way. When a mother is pregnant and the baby is in the womb, when the baby hears the heartbeat of the mother, which makes the baby feel happy because it feels content, it feels safe, it feels cared. When the baby is born, taken away from the mother, the baby gets shocked and is crying, but automatically will be okay when the baby is returned back to the mother's chest, because once again we'll hear and listen the mother's heartbeat, that familiar frequency that is unique, that a baby can hear the mother. The mother is the most important thing, right? And we can see it that way for us too. We have ourselves separated from the heartbeat of the earth, and that's why right now we feel lost, we feel confused, we feel perhaps not supported, we feel abandoned. And that's the reason, because we have disconnected ourselves with earth. We forget, we don't recognize that we are the earth ourselves. We are built, our body has all the minerals, and it is on the earth. So once we start recognizing our connection, then all these shifts and these things that are happening on earth will be manageable for us to navigate.
Right. And so what we're trying to do has a lot to do with Atlantis, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Got that. We've got what you call the galactic, you call it the galactic hour, which is 26,000 years, right? And
That's right.
so Atlantis over here, 13,000 years later, which is where we are today, we're at the exact opposite. We're in opposition to it, and we are working to make a different choice or fix what was done in Atlantis, where they took the path of power, control, technology, the path of the mind, right?
That's right. Yeah.
They separated from their hearts, and they separated from planet Earth, and that's where that fracturing began. So that's why we're all walking around feeling like we are alone on a planet of 8 billion people, and desperately doing anything we can to find connection, or filling the hole that we all feel with things that are never going to fill the hole, whether it's substance abuse, addiction to screens, TikTok, YouTube, or
Everything.
eating food,
Yes,
whatever, everybody walking around like zombies thinking that, yeah, this is fine. I'm happy with this life. This is how life is supposed to be. I've got the house, I've got the husband, I've got the children, I've got the money in the bank. I've checked all the boxes, but I still feel so empty, right? It's that lack of connection, and people who are just not even realizing that they're so disconnected from their mother, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
You see, taking this about the Atlantis and how everything got disconnected, it was about 19,000 years ago is when that was the best time of Atlantis, because 13,000 years ago is when Atlantis collapsed. And we are exactly right now at that age, right there. So it's when it changed the era. Exactly, that's when that happened. So right now we are changing the era. We're coming from Pisces to Aquarius, which is a completely new era. And on top of that, of course, the energies are completely different. So we perceive spirituality in a different way, right? So the way that the era of Pisces was more like utopia, and now is more like technology. And technology is something that we cannot avoid, and that's where we are going. This is how we use the technology. And the technology that we have right now, back then wasn't like that. The technology was more based on the body and was more in natural ways. Everything, one of the things that my guides and the angels have shared is like everything that you see out there, that is invented, is an extension of you your body, right? So you have those video games, and it's that you can see in a 3D and whatever, and that's based on your eyes. And you actually can do that yourself by do meditation, and you can actually do an astral travel. You don't need to have those things, right? But that gives you an idea of the things that you can actually experience.
Yeah.
So 13, the way the Atlanteans used to work, and this is actually very interesting because the Mamos, the Kogis, they are Atlanteans, right? So they are not necessarily descendant. That's what they were sharing with us last time. They are Atlanteans, and they continue having this way of, when they were in good balance, this
Yeah.
way of doing things together, which there is no hierarchy, where no one is more important than other, rather
Yeah.
that everyone has a task to do. There are some people who do the the talking, some people will do the doing of, I don't know, the example they share always with me is the seed, right? So if you have a seed, there is the people who has the seed and knows what it is and how to make it grow and all about it, so that you can make this seed to grow. But that seed will not grow if you don't have land. So then there will be people who will have the land so that they can actually make it grow. And there will be the people who will harvest it, right? And there will be the people who will actually do the sailing, the government, which government means sailing, actually sailing. So that's what it is, like going into the water, into the boats. So everyone needed everyone. No one was more important than other. So everything was a balance. Everybody needed everyone. But
Right.
now, then change, when everything went out of balance, everything changed to oneself. So there's the people who say, well, I do have a seed, and I do have the land, and I know how to grow it, and I have to sell it, so I have it all. So it was for oneself. So that's what the angels and the guys always share, is that is being in our minds, and we manifest things through our mind. And
Right.
when we manifest things through our heart, it is in unity. And anything that is being manifested through the mind eventually will collapse, because the mind, if we go through our own biology, it has the left and the right side, which is or positive or negative, no good or bad, it's just polarities, right?
Mhm.
And whenever we do something through our mind, eventually will come also the things that you don't want to, because it has to bring the balance. You have the two on this end. And so now when we hear about this awakening happening now, the awakening, it is basically returning back to our hearts to remember that connection, because the heart, it is a portal, and that center is the one that helps to basically send information and send as a like the beam of light to the projector that's in our mind to manifest anything outside of us. But we have for a long time forgotten that. So we had allowed our minds to create everything. And our mind is also based in our ego. And our mind is based more into survival. And our mind is the one that keeps us navigating in here.
Right.
So the Mamos and the Kogis, they still work on that way, where there is, for example, they have the 4 tribes, right? The Arhuacos, the Kogi, actually, and what was it? The Weavas, and what is the other one? I forgot.
Well,
The Walk, something like that. I forgot what was the name of the fourth one.
yeah.
But everyone in their villages, and they have a role to do. So
Yeah.
because that's how they work in harmony to live in harmony with nature and everything there is around, which we have forgotten right now. There's, I don't know if you have seen it, but whether this is real or not, people going in shock, saying now that they learned that the chicken, it is actual real chicken, that they're eating a dead animal. Have you seen that? Or children that they don't. So where you, they ask them, where do you buy so where do you get the chicken? Oh, you got from the store. And then they don't realize that actually they are eating an actually, animal.
Yeah.
Or there was another one. The lady said she was so shocked because she didn't know that she was actually drinking milk from the cow. Have you said that one? She
I
was
know.
in shock. She
Really.
said that she thought the whole life that I was just advertisement. That's it.
Wow. That's
That
not.
tells you, that gives you the level of understanding how disconnected we are with everything.
Yeah.
Now, if we don't understand ourselves, our bodies, that's why it's very difficult even to understand what is happening in the world. Because
Yeah.
at an energetic level, everything that we see right now, everything that we see in the politics, everything that we see out there, it is related with all this. People might not really understand or see the connection. It's like, oh, politics, I don't need to go meditate. I need to go and do this. It is all energy. And the way that we do our daily lives will reflect our politics and everything, because we have forgotten our own power and everything has been out of balance, which that is about this changing as we see everything is collapsing. So the main message from the Mamos, because they are the keepers of this knowledge and wisdom, among, of course, all these originaries from people like in Canada, you have the First Nations, and Australia, you have the originals too. But specifically the Kogis and the Mamos, they have a big task, because they not necessarily come and teach people how to do things, but basically they are going to do this job that they need to do and connect all this so that we actually understand what we're trying to say here. For some people, it will be very difficult to make sense of this. And it's not about making sense. One of the things that is important to know is that if we open our heart, we receive the information. It is with our heart, trying to see and hear with the heart, not with our minds. Otherwise, this would be like crazy. But at this point, everything is crazy, right? But one
I,
thing I do know that is going to be no sense.
yeah. I was just going to say, and keeping in mind, we've been separated for so long that when you start working with your heart, things do not come as sharply and as fast as they do with your mind. Like your mind, before you're even consciously trying to have a thought, you've already got 17,000 thoughts going on in your brain. You start having a thought and instantly you're like peppered with all these different scenarios and different possibilities in your brain. When you start working with your heart, it's not like that. So
No, exactly.
starting their journey on connecting with their heart and trying to get the guidance from their heart instead of their mind, understand that it is a slow process of reconnecting and building that line of communication and learning how to listen and to feel that energy. It's not like connecting with your mind. It takes, yeah, it's a lot slower. It's a lot more subtle. It's a lot more calm. It's not frantic. It is, yeah.
No, it is, yes, it is a process, and once we start opening our heart, then everything is actually changing. Sometimes people may believe or think that everything goes smoother, but it's not, because all the ideas that we had before change, your intentions that you had before, and they're not the same. So things will basically collapse before it gets better. But it's
Yeah.
because it's the adjustment. So that's, how things work. And it's a process that is going to be for all the rest of our lives. And
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's just that we are remembering. It takes some time. Our mind, the good thing about all this is right now we have science that is now proving all of these things that before there
Yeah.
was no way that people maybe can see or understand, right? So now we have like neuroplasticity. We have doctors like Dr. Joy Dispenza, for example. They can help you to see, understand, how your thoughts and what happens when you meditate, for example, in your brain. And he's a living proof, for example, of what happened to him, right? Being a normal doctor or studying, and then he has an accident. He was quadriplegic and he could not walk. And then after he tried everything that he could and the normal medicine, then something guided him to go towards the meditation. And thanks to the meditation, he was able to go back to normal life. And he promised that himself that if ever he will be able to walk again and have a normal life, he will dedicate his life to help others and to show and to prove it. And that's what he does. And now science, that's one of many, of course, scientists and doctors that are out there helping us to understand how our minds and our brains are the manifestors of whatever we are saying. So, but if we allow into our programs that we have, our belief systems, because it is different wherever it's in Canada. We were talking about last time, right? Belief systems are different in Canada and Mexico and Finland and in different places. We can have similar things, but it's always our belief system that can make things appear in our lives in different ways. And we can change that. We definitely can. Right now, we're still having a hard time to believe that we can do that because we have never been taught otherwise. And right now, even trying to understand this, that how spirituality connects with the politics and whatever happened to the work. And when people say, oh, I don't have the work that I have, I'm barely making it for money. How can I go and meditate to make money? It doesn't make any sense. But if it is, when you start experiencing new life, it will take you from one miracle to the next miracle. And those are the things that you cannot explain. And those things do not happen just by chance. We create everything. And it's this
Yeah.
process, right?
Yeah. And it's a process of raising your frequency and raising your vibration so that you're on the same level as all of those things that you want, instead of I don't have, and in the mental and in the mind of lack. You start doing the meditation, you start connecting with your heart, you take care of your energy the same way that you want to be taking care of your body. You're watching the food that you're putting into your body so that your physical vessel serves you well. You also want to take care of your energetic body, your spiritual body, so that they can take care of you well as well. So meditation and abstaining from all of those things that Claudia and I were talking about recently when we get onto TikTok and you see some kind of murder mystery story that immediately tanks your frequency, and you're into these dark, dark, dark stories on TikTok that are, ugh, yeah. So taking care of your energy by meditating
Yeah.
with your heart every day,
But
by being mindful of what you're consuming energetically, mentally, through what you're listening to, what you're watching, what environments you're putting yourself into, also what you're putting into your body, all that. Yeah.
yes, and now that you're talking about TikTok, the algorithm. Just think about it for a second, right? When you're watching your social media, you watch one video about something, and then all of a sudden, boom, more of that stuff appears, right? The same thing is in our lives. Whatever you be focused on to, that's exactly what it was what appearing. So if you want to change something different, when you don't want to see this, gross stuff and everything, then you search, okay, jokes or whatever, and then the whole algorithm would change and will lift, your your I lost the word. It will lift you up. So just like that, you can do it in your daily lives. If there's something truly that you don't like or that you don't want in your life, then trying to do something different, opposite. Even the closest that you can do, if you want to have a different job and you say, well, I cannot quit my job because I need to pay my bills right now, maybe then just go and play that you are having that job, just by pretending, if you will. Pretending is not really it, because you are already doing it. Makes you raise your vibration, and you already are experiencing. So your physical body is already getting the emotion, the sensation, what you're looking for eventually will come via the physical part to the actual work.
Yeah.
But one of the things that the Mamos were talking is that sometimes it's hard for us to understand this. Even we are receiving a lot of information and messages and all that, but not necessarily as clear. It's like static in a radio station. So in order for us to really be in attune, their work, what they are doing, needs to be done, which is basically bringing these pieces back. And this, maybe we can share maybe one of those pictures. I guess we could do that. That there are pieces there needs to be holding the spaces. There are keys. If again, there's chip with information. And so when we receive this cosmic light into Earth, it will be able to just go through the whole Earth's grid, and we will be able to feel ourselves more in connection. We will be able to basically start tuning better with ourselves and trust more ourselves. It's very hard for us right now sometimes to really trust in our intuition, trust in what we're hearing, because of that disconnection that we have. So this will help us to gain more into it, to gain more trust in our intuition. And basically, and the idea, and one of the biggest messages that the Mamos have said, but my guides and my angels always share with me, is that we need to regain our own power, to understand that we have everything that we need within ourselves to do anything that we want, and stop being in fear that whether I'm going to be able to do this or that because someone is taking my freedom. No one is taking our freedom, but it's very difficult right now to step outside of that, because there is a system and it's very strong. And it's difficult just for people to keep to think about it in this way. If there's something that you want to do in your life, what is it that you want to do? What is the reason you feel you cannot do it? For many, it could be because they're afraid that maybe they will be not accepted, or because their parents might not support them. And all of that at a cellular level is just survival. If you feel that you do that, you might not be able to survive on your own, although you will be able to do that. Once you step out of it, you would do it. But then it's also this conditioning that you have. Maybe your family is telling you, why do you want to become a doctor when everybody's a lawyer? Or, you will destroy the family's traditions and things like that. And people would not step into what they really want to do. And the idea is that we do what we came here to do, right? And not necessarily have to fit everyone's wishes and desires. And it's hard sometimes to do that. And this activation help us to gain more of this connection with ourselves as well too, in a way that we will be able to take more conscious decisions and more in alignment from who we are, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
can you, yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You.
Oh, I was just going to say, so we are talking about, yeah, there we go. We've got this GoFundMe going on, and I don't know if there's anyone watching on TikTok. For the people watching on YouTube and Facebook, I also have my TikTok going here on my phone because we couldn't figure out how to connect it. For the people on TikTok, we were talking about working with the Kogi and the I guess the Mamos, the spiritual elders of the 4 tribes of Colombia, and they are working toward activating the heart chakra of the world, which is located in Switzerland. So we are working on raising funds for that, for anyone who is, if that resonates with you. I have a link in my bio that you can go to. There's my website, or our website, sorry, Ether and Cord, that talks about what we're doing. And there is the GoFundMe link that you are more than welcome to follow. And any donation helps us to get closer to the goals that we need to get to. And yeah.
They actually, this is, we can share a little bit about the situation we have. Actually, there's some timelines that we have here, because in order for us to bring these pieces, they are elementals, these beings, because these, they might look like maybe like crystals, or they could be like golden pieces, if you will. Yeah,
Quite
some, yeah, it could be something like that. That because they have been removed from their original place, they are ill, and
Yeah.
so these pieces have to be taken up into the mountain for at least 3 months to be healed. And that's the work that the Mamos will do over there, because the Mamos are the ones that are connected with all there is. They literally live up there in the mountains, and they are in truly connection with everything there is. So they don't come down to our world, if you will, unless it's necessary. Only until we come and do these activations. So for June 5th, actually, to have we need the rest of these pieces, and it's like nothing time. So there's many ways that you can be part of it. If you're watching this, we really appreciate you being here. Maybe you can help us by sharing this, and if you share the live, or you like it, it'll expand in the algorithm, and might be able, so the right people could hear it and know that even just your intention, you can also help us if you put your heart and your wishes that this mission can be accomplished. In the website, the Ether and Com, you can learn everything about this mission and everything. You can also follow the social media of the Mamos yourself. There they have, well, they don't share much of that, but there is the information that you can find about them as well too, because I know that there is for many it's new learn about them, because they don't really are very public. They just recently basically start having these appearances, because they need to do that in order to do their mission. They're the ones that are keeping this information for so long, and this is the right time to bring it out there. So also, if you are in Switzerland, or you wish to come and join us in Switzerland, you can come as well too. I'm gonna just share a little bit of what we're gonna be doing over there, and then so I'm hoping that today we will be able to also have the sign-in sheet for people who wants to come and join us there. But first, we will be heading into Geneva. We're gonna be on the 18th. We will be at the lake. The guides and the guardians of Switzerland, they have requested that first we do a stop there, and we will be in connection with the guardians of that space. And then the next date, on the 19th, we will be heading to CERN. That's actually a lot of information in there, what happened in CERN, where the time has been how can I say it? Not destroyed, but it's just everything got out of time. Everything got
It created
talking about it created a hole. But if I was trying to say, like, it become like the heartbeat becomes an what is it called when someone has problems with the heart? Arrhythmia.
arrhythmia, yeah.
Arrhythmia, if you will. Let's just put it this way: it's an arrhythmia in there, and that's because of the CERN. Well, with the experiments that they have done, it had created an arrhythmia on that part. So we will be visiting that space, and of course, in each place there will be the Mamos, and we'll be there. We will have information. We will be doing things that we don't know yet, because most of this will happen while we are there. On the 20th, we will be in Bern, and that will be actually in a special place. And for that place, we have only 44 spaces available. So if you want to be part of it, you can just send us a message, because for that one, we only have 44 places available for that day. It's about 55 Swiss francs, so that will be for that day. And then on the 20th,
we won't, to the questions, Nala, we won't be in Zurich.
No, we will not be in Zurich. No, we will be in Bern. And we will be on the 20th. We will be on this place that we will share information with that. On the 21st, we will be by the base of the Mount Jamfro. Oh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Maybe you, Nala, could tell me if I pronounced it properly. I know you are there. So we will be somewhere around there. That we will find out as we get closer, because we will do a connection. We're going to be all together with the Mamos. We will be there sharing space. We're going to be integrating a lot of information. We're going to be doing a lot of things together right there. And then on the 22nd, we will be on the mountain. We will take the train, and we're going to be just where the train at the top of the mountain in Jamfro. We will be there doing the activation. So for that, for the 3 days, if you want to be part of the 3 days, like 111 Swiss francs. If you only can join one of them, it could be like 55 Swiss francs. And again, this exchange of energy, it is not for us, actually. It's to help to raise the funds for, on one hand, for them to travel, because as you can imagine, they live in the mountains and they don't need anything because they are absolutely fine. The only thing that they need is obviously for when we need to get this, the plane, the tickets and everything. And of course, to recover these pieces that we are putting in place, because some of these pieces have been taken. They've been for a long time. You know, there's people who has them. There's been stolen, just like what happened in Egypt as well too. Many pieces have been stolen, so they need to be returned. And for that, that's what the finances are basically for all this part of the logistics, if anything, because everything else, you know, they don't need anything. We are fine. We're going to be there, but organizing all this. So it will be really good. It will be great to see you there in person. If not, we would definitely share with you. We are also hoping to do like a live stream, and maybe we can, you know, help with that too, providing that we have internet. I'm feeling that when we are at this place in Bern, that day we will be able to do that chat over there live, and that we can arrange that too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we will be there physically. Now, if you cannot be there physically at all, and you would like to help as well, or you feel the call, because this is basically one of the things the Mamos says, that we are not helping them. We are actually doing this activation all together. It's not them or us, right? So we all have, again, one role to do. Maybe our role right now, Amy and I and the other girls, we are just being the voice, the bridge, you know, to have these connections. And they have a role as well, so they can be there physically. They are the guardians of these pieces. So we all need all of us, right? Yeah. So you can go to the GoFundMe account over there, and you can share whatever is your possibilities in there, and know that exchange, the energetic, again, you are part of that. So you are really doing this as well too. It's not like they just give money and that's it. You are literally giving energy to make this happen. Right. So this is basically a call, and for the souls who resonate with this, there is so much information that I feel like it will be very hard to put everything here. And it could be also, we can also share also magical things, you know, synchronicities, and how everything is weaving all together, because many of these things we don't know it all ourselves. It just shows up. And there is one clue in here, there is another clue over there, and then we put in this puzzle together as we go. Yeah. So I don't know if there's anything that you think that we could also share.
No, I think that's good. I think that we've talked about everything that we can today. Just sharing, like, donate if you can, and we're beyond grateful for that. But also sharing the GoFundMe, sharing the website, just so that we are sending that energy out. We're trying to get the energy to move out into the fields a little bit further than it is right now, so that we have more eyes and more awareness on this project that we're working on behalf of all of humanity, all of life on Earth itself. We're working for the whole, and even galactically, like what happens on Earth is rippling out into who knows how far it goes. But I mean, I would imagine it everything.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's amazing. And actually, I wanted to share something because before we came live today, because we had no plan, we were not planning to be live today or do any of this, and just how things happen, just comes an inspiration, like you had that inspiration, like, hey, should we do something, right? And then something else happens, and I was asking the guides and the angels, okay, what do we need to do? Because for June 5th we need to have at least $3,000 or $3,500, something like that, right? Am I correct? Something like that.
US, 5,000 Canadian. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, so that's about 3,500 US dollars just to get the pieces, because again they need like 4 months or 3 months, sorry, to be healed. So by June 5th is like the deadline that the Mamos have, so that they can take these pieces for this mission to happen.
Yeah.
So as I was asking the guys, so what do we do, right? So the tools that you have, they said, just open the doors. Someone might be able to hear, and yet here we are here trusting that something, energetically speaking, something will align in some shape or form. Obviously, if we have those funds, although I know you, Amy, has already put some already in advance, and we don't know how is this going to work. I don't know how is that going to happen, but one of the things is what we're just sharing with you, I'm following the same guidance. You trust in the process, and whatever messages we've been receiving, we just take action and to see the magic happens. So we are just opening the door, and the guys were saying, just make sure that you're visible, so that people will find. So the structures are what we have created. So Ether and Core is a good way that you can find all that information. That's, Amy has been doing a great job putting all that in there. And on the GoFundMe account, you also have all the information as well too. And soon we will bring the Switzerland sign-in sheets and everything, so that you can be there, physically if you want to. Of course, online we will try to get something happening. We will share with everyone, of course, as much as possible what is happening. And yes, I don't know if there's anyone who has any questions or something that comes to your mind, or for you, anything that is Amy, anything that comes to your mind.
Not at this time. I'm just thinking about all the logistics. I did put in the chat window on YouTube and Facebook. If you are interested in joining us either live in Switzerland, like in person, or joining via the live stream, we don't have all of those details just yet, but I do have a sign up page on the website, and there's the link right there where you can just put in your email address, and once we have some details firmed up for you, we will send out an email so that you can be notified of more details. That's great, Nala. We'd love to see you there.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. So that's pretty interesting, Nala. Well, talking about this, Nala, what you're bringing over here, just think about this. You're going to be in the right place at the right time, because this is actually quite interesting. We have just, the universe will put you together. For example, I'm just going to share a little bit, how we ended up being in here. So that's how the universe works, because it's just insane. Last year, for the people who have never heard this story, but last year, I think it was, 2 years ago, I had my guys. I was doing another activation. I was working on Mexico City. We were going and activate the pyramids of Mexico. That was one mission that we were doing. Then through that time, I was guided to read a book about let's go The Flower of Life by Drumbalo. So maybe some people can connect with that. It would be good for you. It's a good book for you to get. I call them the portals. There you go. Living on the Heart. That's one, and this is good because that will help you to connect with the heart. And then the other one, thank you to our beautiful the Flower of Life right there, volume 1 or 2. It is complex. I know some of this information in there, but you will get what you need to get. Anyways, I was guided to read those books because I needed to get obviously some information. A lot of information I could channel myself, but there's other things that will not come through my channel. It will come through the physical world, because this information has been already channeled for some other people, and that's how I got some other information. So I needed to understand something in there about the Merkaba in order for us to do this activation. Once we finished that activation, Amy scheduled a reading with me, and one of the guidance that she received was to read the book, right? The Living in the Heart.
Yeah.
And then once she read the book, in that book they talk about the Mamos, they talk about the Kogis, and they talk about all of that. And when I read the book myself, I always felt like, oh my God, I would love to go to Colombia, and I would like to go meet those, the Mamos and the Kogis. I would love to go there one day. But I mean, that was it. But when Amy, I was just gonna say, the call was so strong, because when she read the book, she had this like call so strong that she wanted to find out who they were and all of that, and she managed to find them and connect with them. And then synchronistically, then she received a message or an email from a friend of hers or whatever, where they were going to have a meeting, via Zoom with them. And she was like, this is insane. So you already work energetically with the other mission when they were to Indonesia, because you were like at the right time. So here's where I'm talking about these miracles, because maybe the right person can hear that, right? You at that moment were in the position to finance the whole mission all the way to Indonesia. So that was
Yeah.
huge. And I remember when you told me that, it's like, oh my God, I just did this. It's like, is it okay? It's like, how does that make you feel? If it makes you feel good, then it's good, right? Then it's all
Yeah.
good, even if it doesn't make any sense to your mind, because
Yeah.
that was a big amount of money right there that you just put in there, but you just felt that, right? So, and that's how the call comes. It doesn't make any sense to the head, but it comes to the soul. And
Yeah.
then she continued doing these meetings, and then she invited me one time to go and be part of them and translate from Spanish to English. And then I got to meet Candy, and then we got to do a lot of that stuff together. Maybe we had 3 4 more sessions, and then something happened. Stop. We didn't continue with those meetings, and you did continue try help raising funds for other missions as well. But that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was working in another activation myself in Mexico as well, and then it was in January that I was in a meditation when my guide said, "Now you have to go and activate the Merkaba, the Merkaba from the heart in Switzerland." This is something that I have already heard before, anyways, last year before with another friend which lives already in Switzerland, and we already knew that we were going to do that activation. So what happened was magical, because then 3 4 days later, out of nowhere, Candy, one of the
Yeah.
representative of all, the ambassador,
Yeah.
the ambassador of all the tribes, sends me a message, and he says to me that he had a dream, or he has seen me, which I don't. It was not a dream, because I did have a mamo standing on my room, just to tell you that, because they're almost like monks. They can do those kind of things. But anyways, he said that he had a mission, and there was some codes, and they needed to be activated, and that we needed to do a meeting. He said, you need to come to Colombia, or we need to go there. And I said, well, I don't think it's me going to Colombia. I think it's you coming over here, because I think the work needs to be done in Europe. And at first I thought it would be here in Finland, where I live. But my guys, they say, no, it's not here. It is in Switzerland. So when I shared that with him, he's like, yes, I think I know why. Then he shared something very amazing, that all these pieces, they are almost like literally pieces of gold. It's almost like treasures. Many of them, not all of them, are like stones. They are actually some metal, like I will think is made out of gold, really. They, whatever they're being rescued, the only country in Europe who offer, just by choice, to keep these pieces, I'm sorry, safe without charging them anything, it was Switzerland, which again is the heart of the planet, right? So the heart is just keeping them in their heart. So pieces from Germany, from many places around Europe, in the world, really, in reality, they land in Switzerland. And then they're keeping them in there, and that's how they eventually, these pieces need to be sent back to Colombia, where the Mamos will take them up into the mountains, and they will heal these pieces. And so we understood that they needed to be there. And then when I talked to Amy, it was like, okay, let's do this together. And then along comes other people, and then pieces of information, confirmations, and more things are showing up as we go. And many of these things, none of this has been planned like meticulous. It's like, to tell you the truth, is sometimes things appear just by the day, and we're just getting it like that. And today is one of these days. We had no plan to be here, but here we are, and just doing what is it that we have available right now. So we have our voice. We did we connected with our hearts before we came in here, and we just open it right there. So yeah, I don't know if you want to say something.
No, that's good. You described that entire story. No, we do not have a plan. And even though we keep, like, Claudia's very in tune with her guides, and we keep asking, like, tell us where to go and what to do and what's going to happen. And they're like, you just have to trust and just keep doing what you're doing. Open the door, use your voice, put your faces out there, put your story out there, put the task out there, and have faith that what you need is on its way to you and it's already done. Right. So
That's
that's what
right, because
we do not have a plan.
yeah.
We are flying by the seats of our pants. Yeah.
Well, it is. And you know what is the craziest things, like, with everyone, it's like most of the guidance sometimes for our mind would not make sense, because right now they're telling us constantly, just trust you. Maybe you don't have to do anything. Just wait.
Yeah.
And it's like, if we need to do something, like, if we feel, of course, responsible, or I feel with a commitment to make this happen.
Yeah.
But the guides have said, well, that's your ego wanting to get all that done. You can't control everything, right? So whatever just comes an inspiration at the moment, just take it and do it, and take, like Bashar would say, take it as far as you can, and then just remove the expectations.
Yeah.
And they say, it doesn't mean because you don't have the money, it doesn't mean that cannot be happen. There's in many ways. So
Yeah.
it's not up to you. And if you're committed, you have to really open yourself to the unexpected, because that's the only thing, right? So today they said, okay, well, talk about it, and and that's it. And then we'll see. It might not even come through us. We were just talking about before we got into the live. It might not even come directly to us, but somehow we energetically move something here, and someone will connect direct with them, and then that's it. It doesn't matter who or how. The main thing is that by June 5th, we need to get this, so that we can go, at least the most important thing, having these pieces, because if we don't have the pieces, basically this is not going to work. I guess that's what basically they say. And once we have the pieces, then we have to continue thinking about, okay, now the finances for them to come, right, to Switzerland, because obviously, again, something magical that they say, they don't need anything because they live in harmony. They have their food. They don't need anything from anyone or nothing. And it's not helping them. It's just, again, this is everyone's mission. So whoever resonates with this is because we feel that call, and we can support in some shape or form, either just by your intention, with your on the 22nd of September. Sorry, the 22nd of September, where we are doing this activation. Just be in your heart with us, and that could also help a lot. Just become aware. One of the things is, Amy, you said it already. What can you do also? Because you and I, we are all the cells of the planet, right? So if we are healthy, the planet will be healthy too. So just like you described earlier, what is the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your food, the quality of your emotions. Feed yourself properly. What is your body asking? Because this is the most important thing. If you learn how to listen to your own body, that's your own guidance, then you will be able to listen the guidance from your angels, your guides, the universe more clearly. If you don't listen to your body, when your body is telling you, I need to eat something healthy, or I need to go to sleep, I need to go to the bathroom, then you most likely would ignore the signs from the universe, the signs from the angels, in the universe, the higher self, whatever. So that's the first task. If you really want to do a change in the world, we have to start with ourselves. Understand our bodies.
Not just not listening to your body's cues, but also what we're consuming, not just with our mouth, what we're consuming with our with our nose as well, because we've got all of these fake chemical fragrances out there, which is just a complete hormone disruptor for our entire being. So what we're consuming with our nose, what we're consuming with our eyes, what we're consuming with our ears, what we're chewing on in our minds, our thoughts that we're doing, they kind of clog up the system and they make it really clumsy. So if you're putting those things into your body on all those different levels, it's the highway for communication, or the lines of communication, are all clogged up. So working
Yes.
on those, and not to say like I need everything fixed now. Like, it's a process. It's a lifelong journey, but just having that heart intention to, yes, I want to take myself to somewhere higher than where I am, and what can I do today? I'm gonna go to bed on time today. I'm not gonna do the doom scrolling on TikTok, or YouTube Shorts, Facebook, whatever it is, the doom scrolling that keeps us up until 3 a.m. trying to catch those dopamine hits. Yeah. So what can you do today just to start? Just one step, and if you slip up tomorrow, don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Yes, it's a process. And one of the things that they also share is that be compassionate with yourself,
Yeah.
because it takes sometimes, just even if you go by your body biologically, it takes about 25 days in order for us to be able to change a habit.
Mhm.
So it takes time. So we have to have consistency in what we do, and the will. One of the things that I have learned myself, and through one, um, I do a program at the beginning of the year. It's called the Challenge with the Angels for 22 days. So we connect for 22 days, and we do, always work. We are meditating together for 22 days. We bring these questions because it helps us to understand the why we are feeling the way we are feeling. So understand your own biology is the most important thing. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is the reason? What motivates you? What is your intention in what you're doing? And that will always align you back into your essence. Sometimes we have an intention that we want to do something, but as we go in the path, we get distracted. We see butterflies and we go, oh, butterflies. And then it was like, we get distracted on that end. And then eventually it's like, what the heck? I'm lost, right? So where do I go? So asking yourselves, like, well, okay, why am I doing this? What is motivating me? Is this what I want to do now? Okay. And then you go back to your initial intention, or perhaps you discover that where you started was just the beginning, and now you're finding yourself into a different direction, and that's okay too. But having those moments of pauses and understand why you're doing things, why you are afraid of, what is the reason? Because sometimes we are carrying fears that are not even ours. Someone has projected on us the fear. Could be our parents, could be our friends, the same society, right? The society is helping us to feel in some ways, because we feed those fears, we feed those ideas that are out there. So it's important for us to connect and understand the balance that we need to have. And that is actually very simple. It's actually not even that complex. You see, yesterday I was also myself, asking more questions. What else can I do? What I've been doing, whatever is in my hands to make sure that this is happening, right?
Mhm.
And my guides were saying, go and spend some time with your family. And I think, okay, I will go and spend some time with my family. Of course, I love to have some time with my family, but how is that going to bring, for the finances to what we need, for example, for this task, right?
Yeah.
And that's what they were saying. So the frequency, at first you're going to raise your vibration, and then also, if remember that the energy is for everything. Money is energy, health is energy, everything is energy, right? And if you have a block, like maybe you're not spending enough time with your family, for example, or you are having some troubles with family, how do you expect to work on this mission, on that coherence, if you're not paying attention what is happening out here? It's like telling you go meditate, but I don't meditate, right? That's not coherence.
Yeah.
And in other ways they explain this is like your heart, right? If your heart is trying to is pumping the blood and is wanting to go to your liver, for example, but in order to get to the liver, first has to come, let's say, through your back shoulder, you know and you are focusing more into, I want to have this blood in my liver, and it's not coming, but your shoulder is hurting so much, and you're not paying attention to the shoulder, then your mind might think that they're not connected because they're separate, but they're part of the same whole. They're part of your body. So once you pay attention to why is your shoulder hurting, then you actually will open the flow of energy, and eventually will call the blood will get there. So that's why not necessarily everything will make sense when you're doing it, but act, and whatever is coming to you, if you have an opportunity for something, just explore it. How does that make you feel? Do you feel excited about it or not? If it is, go ahead. Even if it doesn't make any sense, just do it and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Because it will lead you towards you need to go, and where you have to go, because the universe will always put you the things that you need. They will connect you with the right people. And all of you that you are here, thank you so much for being here. And we had no idea, we had no plan what we're going to talk. We're just going to be here and just talk, right?
That's right. And I just want to go back to talking about having compassion for yourself. I think that's a really, really important thing and a lot of people struggle with it. There are a lot of people that are here to learn how to have compassion for others. And some people have already learned how to have compassion for others, and they are here to learn how to have compassion for themselves. I think that is it can be a very big struggle. We have a lot of negative self-talk, and a lot of shitting on ourselves, as they say. So if you're in the spiritual path, you know that there are ups and downs, hills and valleys, and I have got a 7-year-old, and sometimes she's having a bad day, and I always tell her, hey, when you're down low, don't do anything other than be kind to yourself. Just take a pause. We don't need to beat ourselves up. We don't need to get upset with ourselves. What we need is to give ourselves a hug, really, and to be the support that we need, and to give ourselves a little bit of comfort and some grace, and to just be loving and compassionate to ourselves. Compassion beyond reason, not justified, does not have to be justified, just compassion beyond reason for ourselves. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a really good thing to share. And that's very important to see that, our personal lives, again, but they share with people, right? In order for us to even be calibrated to do this task, we have to be calibrated. How we get calibrated in our personal lives, because we are going through things that we have to experience, and we have to integrate for us to even do this. So what is being presented in your lives right now, it's important to know, because that's the collective energy as well too. And one of the biggest, the main messages too, that for us and for the whole world in general, that's what they share. If you want to have that connection with Gaia, or you want to bring the most healing at this moment, they want you to connect with your mom. What is the relationship with your mother? And that would tell you what is your connection with Mother Earth. And even if you have a good, or had, because maybe your mom already transcended, a good relationship with Mother, there is also a lot of things that comes through your mom, right? It's a lot of these programs and belief systems there's in your cells. But what is that connection? Are you feel nurtured? Do you feel nurtured by your mother, or are you nurturing your kid? As 2:00, 2:22, 2:22 right now. I can see on the clock right now here. Um, are you, Abby, do you feel that you're nurturing your family? Where is your biggest challenge at this moment? Where do you feel that you're having a hard time, right? My kids, again, bringing the kids, because our kids are the new humanity, right? It was a while ago that I ran out of patience, and one of my middle kid, he was upset, and he turned around and he said to me, it's like, oh, I thought that you were meditating. I thought that you would not, scream like that because you meditate. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. My tongue was like all tied in there. But I said, okay, stick to the meditation, that you're not flying out of this window, right? Because obviously I was just completely out of patience. But you see, these things, you actually see that eventually you start using these tools, because I probably back then I would have reacted in a different way. I would just react and say something back. I mean, I still do, because obviously sometimes it's not so easy. But they notice those things too. My
Yeah.
youngest daughter, sometimes she will say, "Mommy, guess what? Today I had a hard day at school, but I was doing deep breathing, and that made me feel much better. Then I stopped crying and thing that." So you see how, these things eventually will come. We were never taught these things when we were kids, but we are now having access to all of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely got to be patient with yourselves, all you moms out there with children, all your dads out there with children. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely have some compassion for yourself on those days where you're less than your ideal. Yeah, it's no joke.
Yes,
Kids will take you through the paces.
that's right. Well, I think that was a really good chat, and we really appreciate everyone and you. I was thinking I'm gonna pull a card for all of us. What do you think? Should I pull a card for all of us today?
I
Let's
want,
see.
I want a card.
Okay, so we're just gonna put a card. Should we do? Okay, let's. I'm gonna take three cards, so you guys can choose card one, two or three, whatever you wish, and see what is the message for you today. What is it that you must need to know today that is in your highest good of all? I guess for the people on TikTok, they cannot really see, but I'm
No,
sure they can hear.
live on TikTok. I ended the live on TikTok.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Okay, let's see. What do we need to know? Card number one is that came two times, eh? It came two times. Higher power. Yeah, there it goes.
Okay.
Basically, higher self. Can you see if you can notice right there at the top, like on the third eye, you have like almost like a key
Uh, that's a
hole.
yeah,
It's almost like a keyhole. There we go.
pretty
It's a really
card.
pretty card. I love it. And number four, okay?
Four. Right.
Number four. So basically, what um, your higher self, what your higher self wants you to know is that you're in a full connection and you have more knowledge and more wisdom that you can imagine. You see, sometimes you feel that you are limited, that you don't know how to do something, but you can access to all this information within if you open your heart. Uh, Probably many of you are feeling that there is things that do not know how to explain them, or you feel like maybe you are not qualified because you don't have a certificate or diploma or something, but you just know and you're good at it, and you feel intimidated by the world because you don't have maybe something to prove like a diploma or certificate. That's what they bring again. So your higher self, your team of angels and guides want you to know that you have access to all of this and it is time for you to express it and to share it to the world. Now if you could have a connection, do a meditation and just allow your higher self to be more present, and it has a message for you. So I guess perhaps you already did something at this point. So your higher self is saying that you are in the right path and that you have nothing to worry because the things will align for you. Okay,
Beautiful.
people who choose card number two already flew, which is amazing. Now we have number three. So we have four, now we have number three. It's in between worlds. So you are in a moment right now where you are not in one side or in the other, literally. So it is not very clear where you're heading. The main thing is that you took a step. You did the first step and you are heading to this new way of things, but you feel intimidated. You feel right now a little bit overwhelmed because nothing comes clear. So just please, at this moment, do not force anything. Just allow things to come to you. If you're trying to force something, it will not happen. Once you have your intention and you have a goal, what you want, it's good that you do whatever you can, right? You send a resume or you start looking about what you need in order for you to get what is it that you want. But if you force things and you feel that it's hard, then you have to stop because you are trying to manipulate or control everything. And right now in this between two worlds, you need to allow your spirit guides, the universe, to do their work. So take a pause, take a moment to literally go out for a walk, and you will see how the changes comes and the clarity will come. for that, I have a little experience too that someone shared with me the other day. One of our in Among the Lives, there was a lady who was saying that her son was just not having a good time, and he was confused. He was not getting work, and he tried it and tried and sent so many resumes, and he said, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What is happening? So the mom said, well, just come and visit me. He said, oh, why would I go there if I can't? I don't have much money, and right now I should be looking for work. And the lady said, just come over. Maybe you have some clarity. Just come and have some fun. They were there for a few days, had a great time. The kid went back to his house because, well, the kid, I mean, obviously is an adult, so he went back to his home. And all of a sudden, just someone randomly called him and he got hired just like that. Just by taking that action, everything actually moved into his benefit. So another proof that, things could happen.
Yeah.
All right, so number 3. For those who chose card number 3, what is it that you must need to know today? That is in your highest good of all. Okay, this is actually because number 3 and actually 3 cards showed up.
Oh, well.
And talks about serendipity. This is your lucky day, like literally. If you wanna see it this way, this is your lucky day because things are gonna work out. Everything is fine. Literally, you have the the four-leaf clover, and this is a unique one because this is bringing a lot of abundance, and a lot of this is happening because of the principles that you have used. Trusting your guidance, trusting what you're hearing, what you're sensing, and all the work that you have done is being paying off. So just adjust your mind to seeing yourself already having that what you want. That's the only thing. Okay, it's very important that you see a picture of yourself. If you cannot visualize it, just feel it or write it down. This is important because you are right there. You just need to do that little extra push, right? And what did they say too? Connect with your community because your community will have a lot to bring to you. The community will be there assisting you, and the community will be celebrating with you these new achievements. And you will have a connection. There is an invitation, there is a proposal. So pay attention because there is a new opportunity, a proposal that will come to you that will help you to go to where you want to go. Okay, but it's important that you remember one thing: the moment that you are doubting or you are feeling stressed out is you disconnect yourself from the heart. So then you have your mind and your heart, and then you go back to the old stories, the same story that nothing works for me, it was too good to be true, etc., etc. So your angels and your guides want you to know that it's important that you find yourself, imagine what it will feel like to feel, to be, and to experience love, happiness, health, finances, whatever it is that you want, and stay there and be in your heart. Just bring your attention to your heart. That's all you need to do, even if you don't know exactly what happens or how can you access to your heart. Just bring your attention to your heart and just feel your heart. That's all you have to do. Whenever you are doubting about something, then you are out of your heart and you are in your mind. So that's our messages for us today.
Love it.
Well, thank you so much, Nala, for being here. Well, whatever you end up being in German speaking Switzerland or Mexico by September, just trust that you also, even though this is a decision that you're doing in your life and whatever, it's also taking you to places because you need to be there. You might not be aware of that, but just by being in those places, wherever you end up being, you are doing part of your mission. And that doesn't make any sense. But it would be great if we can see you in Germany. And it would be great to meet you there. If not in Mexico, well, next time I go to Mexico, I see you in Mexico. How about that? I don't know what about Mexico.
Yeah, in Switzerland. And yeah, feel free to sign up for that that contact page that I posted. And if you're not able to join live, you can certainly join us remotely. I am confident that the facility that we are using has all of the equipment necessary for us to live stream. So that will be definitely an option for us. So yeah. Thank you, Claudia, for the
Yes.
reading. for sharing all of the information and for being a lovely host here today.
No, you've been a lovely host too. Thank you so much for doing we parlaying this together, and I'm having a good time. So this is good, and thank you so much for all of that. And yes, we'll see you soon anyway. So we will be connecting soon again, and we will have another meeting with the Mamos. If you guys want to do that soon, we will have that probably in about, I don't know, in 1 or 2 weeks. We will double check on that, but you can also already experience that. Uh, Meeting them and being there, having questions and all that. One thing I would like to bring before we go is like, please ask questions. I know it's very hard sometimes to know what to ask. Even if you think there's something silly, stupid, dumb, doesn't matter. Just ask the questions, because the more questions we ask, the more information we get. And it's not like people will not share with us information, will help something from us. It's just that if we don't ask for it, it will not come. And that's just very important for us to know. If you ask your guides for things, it'll come to you for sure.
And if you're wondering, someone else is wondering as well. So
yes. All right. Well, thank you, Amy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nala, for being here. And we will see you soon again. Bye for now.